Friends, there is a lot of talk on our institutions of higher learning, our universities, especially now that the admission season is approaching. The university education must also create good citizens, as we all know. However, a large part of crime and lack of moral, ethical behavior can also be traced to those educated within the universities. Should we then not worry about the university education? It must mean that we need to teach them the nature of mind, mental events, consciousness, cognition, perception, and their relationship to the physical world. With that as the preamble for this Saturday's talk, let's spend a little more time understanding our university education. There was once a very renowned scientist who, during a prestigious conference, disagreed vehemently with a fellow presenter's theory, and instead of waiting for the question answer session, he interrupted the speaker, stormed to the front, grabbed the microphone, and started passionately arguing against the theory. This unexpected interruption turned into a heated debate, causing disquiet among the attendees. Eventually, the moderator had to gently remind the scientist of the conference etiquette. Despite the uproar, the scientist remained convinced of his position and continued to debate, completely disregarding the scheduled program. While his passion for his work is admirable, his approach raised eyebrows and left a lasting impression on everyone who was present there. Who was this renowned scientist that I am talking about? He is Richard Feynman, known for his brilliant mind, very playful personality, and sometimes outrageous behavior. He was a physicist who made significant contributions to quantum mechanics and quantum electrodynamics, earning a Nobel Prize in physics in 1965. Feynman was also famous for his charismatic teaching style and his ability to simplify complex scientific concepts. He used to practice before going to a class in a small auditorium every single time in his entire career. His conventional approach to life often led to amusing anecdotes and stories about his behavior. Even as we acknowledge him as a model teacher and exemplary scientist, it is often asked why he behaved the way he did. That question still remains. There could be various reasons: extreme passion about his beliefs or theories and a strong need to defend them, ego, a deep investment in his work, a sense of superiority in his knowledge could all be reasons. Even a momentary lapse of judgment could be a reason, where emotions override the conduct and so on. If it can happen to the greats, it can happen to anyone. Don't we then need to know what our mental states are and their nature, or explain their behavior? How do we know what our beliefs, desires, intentions, and emotions are? How do we know them? Is our behavior manifestation of all this? These may be philosophical questions, but their answers may not be so, since they actually reflect and they affect us. Phenomenology or critical theory, both philosophical approaches, they are taught in philosophy, may have some answers in our pursuit of understanding human behavior or our behavior. Now, while phenomenology describes how things appear in our conscious experience and uncover our subjective experience and consciousness without any assumptions and without any interruptions. Critical theory focuses on analyzing and critiquing society and the culture. Simply put, while phenomenology explores the way things present themselves to us in consciousness, critical theory challenges oppressive social structures and power dynamics. Our behavior could be based on personal motivations to external influences, as in the case of Richard Feynman. For instance, we may actually behave in a certain way due to our upbringing, maybe due to our beliefs or due to our mental state at that point of time, and so on. While this is a physiological perspective, the social perspective considers how external factors like social norms, peer pressures, cultural differences, or cultural influences and societal expectations, they all shape our behavior. There are also biological and environmental perspectives. While biological perspectives include genetics, brain structure, hormones, and neurological processes, environmental perspective looks at the immediate surroundings and environmental stimuli that might trigger or influence our behavior. There are other interesting perspectives as well. While our behavior is learned and reinforced through conditioning, rewards, and punishments, the cognitive perspective influences our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions, and decision making processes. We often bemoan the lack of ethics studies or ethical studies in our universities. What is ethics? It deals with questions about what is morally right and what is morally wrong, good or bad, fair or unfair, answers to that kind of questions. It also involves understanding, analyzing, and evaluating concepts of right and wrong behavior. And it aims to provide guidelines or principles for making moral choices. Friends, while we understand ethics, should we not also understand the principles such as consequences of our actions, intentions, duty, obligation, virtue, moral language, the language that we speak, ethical truth, and the foundations of moral concepts in order that we practice and promote ethical behavior? Moral reasoning is extremely important in all these stressed times. Unless we think right, we don't act right. Moral psychology tells us how individuals perceive, how they judge, and how they act upon moral issues, considering the psychological, cognitive, emotional, and social factors. Moral thinking and behavior is, of course, important. Is it not time we taught moral psychology in our universities? That is some food for thought for this Saturday. And tomorrow, being a Sunday, I hope you will mull over what I have said and probably suggest to the universities, or if you happen to occupy the best positions in the universities, think about implementing moral psychology as a part of the curriculum to build moral values. So friends, until we meet next Saturday, thank you, dhanyavad and namaskar.